Hi, in this video, we'll be taking you through the user flow of our application. So to begin with, we have our login page, and on the login page, he can choose to register if he hasn't registered before, or else he can sign in the usual way. We also have other options like face authentication, retina, and fingerprint. And then if the customer logs in, he comes to this home page. In the home page, we have the options available, and in addition to that, we have places, bookings, and also this search form. So the same search form is available on the home page. So let's enter some details there. So that will be the place where he's going to travel from, the location where he's going to go to, um, and then he can pick the date. So when he picks the date, he will have to pick the calendar and pick on the date. So we have that option available. And once he picks the date that is required for him, he can move on to mode and type his mode that he prefers to travel in. Thereafter, he can search the flights and he gets his search results. So we have multiple search results, and he can change it at the top if he wants, and then he can pick one of them and reserve a seat. So suppose he picks some business class seats on this page, he can choose to proceed. And thereafter, once he makes the payment, he gets an invoice like that. Suppose he wants to pick from some places and explore new places, he can go to the Valora Creator option, and then he can look through the options that are available and decide to book, and he can enter the search details and so on. Thereafter, he has to do the same procedure where he books the seats and then makes the payment. So we have the paid and cart options available. Cart basically has the trips that he hasn't yet paid for. And yeah, so that's the search form again. And that's pretty much it about our application. So yeah, thank you.
Hi, this is our folder structure for the Intergalactic app created using Expo and React Native. So we have divided each code sectors into folders, and they are within folders there may reside subfolders too. So all the images are contained in this image folder, and there are some subfolders too, so we can easily navigate to them, and all the components related to the all the screens are here, and there are some constant there. We have defined global styles and themes, and we have some folders for dummy datas, and we have navigation section within this folder, and all the screen related JavaScript files are here. So here we have sign in, sign up, and then ticket, travel guide, seat booking, search results, search, my booking, main container, invoice receipt, home, destination, and checkout. All these are different screen sections and their codes. So these are the codes. We have uploaded the Git repo, so you can go through that. So here the thing is we have used components to fetch those components into the screens. So without coding everything in the screen section, we have called those components into these screen functions. And by going through this, you can check those things. So, and also there are components, several components. Some components have been used across several screens because they can be used in several places, several applications were there, and some components were used only for one or two specific screens. And we have this dummy data section, to check our inputs. And within this navigation section, we have this index part and route navigation and the tab bar. And for the code thing, those are the special things. And within this, we have placed the styling parts too. So using React Native, we have achieved those things. And because of the time limitations, we couldn't implement all the coding part, but uh, regarding the seat booking part, we have uh, implemented most of the coding part, but not at we couldn't implement all the stuffs. But I think we have done most of the coding related to the seat booking thing. And yeah, I think that's all regarding the code. Uh, we have uploaded all those.
Hello, explain the backend code of the app we built for the build-a-thon phase. So we built the app using Express framework and choosing the TypeScript as the language, then MySQL for the back database. So the code is structured as shown here. So in our code, uh, we have first I would like to explain the route section, which contains separate routes for separate services. Then the controller section, which are the uh, functions written to handle the request and the response. Those controllers call the uh, service section functions, though which service section functions has the business layer, which contains the general logic of the program. So then the service section contains the function calls for the repositories, which are the functions written to call the backend, call the database calls. So this is the basic structure of our code. Then we used a separate folder for handling the authentication and the middleware, which takes the token and decodes it and then verifies the token. And then the interfaces are for handling the data format in separate sections. So this is our backend code. Then I would like to show the API calls we could run. So let's run the now the backend is running. So these are the API calls. So this brings the trips available. Then this is for login, then register, get all regions, get trip by ID, and make bookings. So that's it. Thank you.